One of the biggest mistakes people make, especially in dating and relationships, is overreacting when someone who's been silent suddenly reaches out. Maybe he pulled away, maybe he ghosted, maybe he just needed space. And now here he is texting you, calling you, sliding back into your life. The question is, how do you respond? First off, you don't panic. You don't start writing him a novel about where he's been, why he disappeared, or how much he hurt you. That's weakness. That's chasing. And chasing always kills attraction. Instead, you got to think like this. He reached out to you, he took the initiative. That means the ball is in his court. All you need to do is be warm, be open, and give him the opportunity to step up. Keep it short, keep it light, keep it playful. If he says, "Hey, how have you been?" You don't launch into a therapy session. You say, "I'm great, life is good. What's up with you?" That's it. The key here is letting him earn his way back into your life. If he truly values you, he'll pursue you. He'll set dates. He'll make the effort. And if he doesn't, you've got your answer. You don't need to chase. You don't need to convince. You don't need to explain. Always remember, your silence is just as powerful as his was. So when he comes back, you meet him with calm confidence, not desperation. Because confidence is sexy. Confidence is attractive. And confidence is what makes the difference between being an option and being the prize. When he finally reaches out after silence, the natural tendency, especially if you've been hurt, frustrated, or sitting in uncertainty, is to react emotionally. That's the first mistake most people make. They let all the pent-up questions, the resentment, and the insecurity pour out the moment his name pops up on the phone screen. Suddenly, you feel this surge of adrenaline. Your heart races, your mind starts spinning with, why now? What does he want? Where has he been? Is he just playing me? And if you're not careful, that emotional storm takes over and you fire off a text or a call that screams neediness. Now here's the thing you got to understand: overreacting destroys attraction. It sends the message that you've been sitting around waiting, obsessing, keeping score, and hanging on to every move he makes. And that's not what high value people do. High value people are calm, they're centered. They've got lives, they've got options. And when someone goes silent and then comes back, they don't come unglued, they stay composed. They think, okay, you reached out. Now show me what you've got. See, when you overreact, you're basically punishing him for showing back up. And think about it. If every time someone tries to reconnect with you, you hit them with anger, accusations, or interrogation, why would they want to stay? People are naturally drawn to where they feel good. If reaching out to you feels like stepping into a courtroom where they're on trial, they'll retreat again. They'll pull back. And what happens? You confirm the very thing you feared, you push them away. That's why staying calm, staying collected is absolutely essential. Now, I know what you're thinking, but what if I want answers? What if I need closure? Look, you don't get closure by demanding it in the first 5 seconds. You don't get clarity by attacking. You get it by observing patterns, by watching behavior, and by letting time reveal the truth. If he's genuinely interested in reconnecting, you'll see consistent effort. He'll want to make plans. He'll reach out again. If he's just checking in because he's bored, lonely, or looking for validation, you'll see that too. But either way, you don't need to press him the moment he reappears. The more you stay calm, the more space you give him to show who he really is. This is about emotional self-control. It's about mastering your state. You have to remind yourself that silence is not the end of the world. His absence does not define your value. His return does not automatically mean commitment. It just means he thought about you and he acted. That's it. Don't turn it into more than it is. Your job when he comes back is to breathe, relax, and respond in a way that communicates, I'm good, I'm happy, my life is full, and I'm open to seeing what you bring to the table. That's attractive. That's magnetic. And that's how you make him feel like he's stepping back into the presence of someone who knows their worth. When he finally comes back into your life after silence, the temptation is to unload everything you've been holding in. You want to ask, where have you been? Why didn't you text? Why did you ignore me? Do you even care? But here's the reality: when you do that, you come across as heavy, needy, and emotionally out of control. And nothing kills attraction faster than pressure. Think about it. If he went silent, it already means he was backing off for whatever reason. Maybe he needed space. Maybe he got busy. Maybe he just wasn't sure what he wanted. Now, if the first thing he gets when he reaches out is a wave of frustration and interrogation, what's he going to feel? He's going to feel resistance. He's going to feel like talking to you is a burden. And people don't chase burdens, they avoid them. Instead, the smart move is to keep it light and short. That means your response should be positive, warm, and casual. If he texts, hey, how have you been? You don't send a wall of text about the last 3 months. You don't start listing out how much you missed him or how much he hurt you. You simply say something like, "I've been great, thanks. How about you?" That's it. Simple. Short, effortless. Because what that does is communicate confidence. It shows that you're not sitting around keeping score. It shows that your life is moving forward with or without him. And that is magnetic. People are drawn to others who seem grounded and happy regardless of circumstances. Keeping it light doesn't mean you're ignoring your feelings. It doesn't mean you're pretending nothing happened. What it means is you're being strategic, you're showing restraint. You're giving him space to reveal his intentions without suffocating him with yours. If he's serious about reconnecting, he'll take the next step. He'll suggest a plan. He'll ask you out. And if he doesn't, that tells you all you need to know. By keeping it light and short, you're essentially testing his level of interest without investing more than he deserves up front. It's like dangling a key in front of the door. If he wants in, he'll turn it. If not, you don't waste your energy trying to drag him through. Now, here's the beauty of keeping things short. It creates curiosity. When you don't overshare, when you don't flood him with emotions or details, you leave space for him to wonder. What's she been up to? Who's she seeing? Why does she sound so happy? That mystery pulls him in. That lightness makes him want more. Think of it like this. If someone gives you a taste of something amazing, you want the whole meal. But if they dump the entire buffet on you at once, it's overwhelming. Attraction works the same way. A light, casual response is like a teaser. It gets him hooked, wanting to know more, wanting to see you, wanting to invest again. Finally, keeping it short is about protecting your energy. When you give too much, too soon, you're essentially investing in someone who hasn't earned it yet. And that's backwards. People value what they work for. They respect what they have to earn. So by keeping your initial responses brief, you're forcing him to show up, to step up, to make the effort. And that's the real test. Because if he truly values you, he'll want to go deeper. He'll want to spend time with you. He'll want to prove that he deserves another chance. And if he doesn't, then you haven't lost anything. You kept your energy, your dignity, and your confidence intact. That's why keeping it light and short isn't just smart, it's essential. One of the biggest mistakes people make when someone reaches back out after silence is trying to take over the interaction. They get that first text or call, and immediately they start planning the next step. They start suggesting meetups. They start pushing the conversation forward. And what happens? They fall into the role of the pursuer while he slips into the role of the one being chased. Attraction doesn't grow in that dynamic. Attraction dies when you start carrying all the weight. The truth is, when he's the one who went silent, he's the one who needs to show through action that he wants back in. That's not your job. Your role is simply to respond, stay open, and let him lead the way back into your life. See, leadership in dating and relationships is all about who's taking initiative. If he really values you, if he really wants another shot to take the lead, he'll text you first. He'll suggest getting together. He'll set up the date. And if he doesn't, that tells you something powerful. It tells you that he's not invested. It tells you that he's just checking in to see if the door's still open without any real intention of walking through it. And you should never reward half-hearted effort with full-hearted investment. When you let him lead, you're giving him the opportunity to prove himself. You're giving him the space to show if he's serious or if he's just bored. Now, letting him lead doesn't mean sitting around forever hoping he'll take action. It means watching what he does when you stay calm and receptive. For example, if he texts, "Hey, how are you?" and you respond lightly, the ball is in his court. If he follows up with, "We should catch up sometime. Are you free this weekend?" That's leadership. He's stepping up. He's taking responsibility for bridging the gap. But if he just says, "Cool," or "That's good to hear," and then goes silent again, that's not leadership, that's laziness. And you don't chase lazy, you let it fade, because chasing lazy effort never gets you the kind of connection you deserve. Letting him lead also creates the right emotional polarity. Masculine energy thrives on pursuit, on challenge, on earning. Feminine energy thrives on being receptive, on inviting, on allowing. When you flip that balance, when you start pursuing him, planning everything, doing all the work, you rob him of the opportunity to step into his role. You rob him of the chance to feel that masculine drive to win you over. And deep down, that's what makes men feel alive. They want to feel like they earned your time, your affection, your presence. So by stepping back and letting him lead, you're actually creating the conditions where attraction can grow stronger. And here's the most important part. When you let him lead, you keep your dignity. You don't lower your standards. You don't settle for breadcrumbs. You're basically saying, if you want my time, you've got to show me through action. And that's powerful. because it puts the responsibility exactly where it belongs on him. He's the one who left. He's the one who went silent. So if he wants back in, he's the one who has to prove himself. You don't chase, you don't beg, you don't overfunction. You stand firm in your value, you respond with openness, and then you step back and let him take the wheel. If he drives forward, great, you'll see where it goes. If he stalls out, you've lost nothing because you didn't overinvest. That's what letting him lead is all about. It's about clarity, confidence, and keeping the power dynamic exactly where it should be. One of the hardest lessons to learn in dating and relationships is this: the more you chase, the less they value you. It's counterintuitive because society teaches us that if you really want something, you go after it. You work harder, you put in more effort, you keep showing up until you get the result. That might work in business, in sports, or in fitness, but it does not work in attraction. When you chase someone who isn't investing back, you're telling them, my time, my energy, and my attention are not valuable. You don't have to earn me because I'll give myself away for free. And people don't respect what comes too easy. People respect what they have to work for. That's why chasing always backfires. Now, think about the dynamic when someone goes silent. That silence was already them pulling back. It was them creating distance, whether consciously or unconsciously. And if you respond to that silence by chasing, by calling, texting, begging, or demanding answers, you're literally running after someone who just showed you they don't want to be caught. You put yourself in the position of the pursuer, and they slip into the position of the prize. But that's backward, because if you were truly living like the prize, you wouldn't be chasing anyone. You'd be evaluating. You'd be observing. You'd be saying, show me why I should let you back into my life. That's the mindset of strength, and that's what keeps attraction alive. Not chasing also protects your dignity. Think about the times when you've gone out of your way, sent double texts, called multiple times, or tried to corner someone into explaining themselves. How did you feel afterwards? Probably drained, probably embarrassed, probably like you gave too much away. That's because deep down, chasing doesn't align with self-respect. It feels like you're lowering yourself, begging for scraps, hoping for validation. And when you lower yourself, the other person feels it. They sense the desperation. They sense the neediness. And the moment someone senses neediness, their attraction starts to die. That's why the strongest move you can make when someone pulls away is simply not to chase. Now, let me be clear. Choosing not to chase doesn't mean you're playing games. It doesn't mean you're ignoring them out of spite. It means you're letting them show through their actions whether they're truly invested. If he reaches out after silence, your job is just to respond warmly, briefly, and then step back. If he wants to see you, he'll set it up. If he wants to spend time, he'll make it happen. If he doesn't, then you've got your answer without wasting weeks or months trying to force something dead back to life. By refusing to chase, you're not only protecting your energy, you're also creating space for someone who will actually value you to step in. That's the hidden gift of restraint. It filters out the weak effort, and it leaves room for the strong. And here's the truth: most people don't want to face chasing. Never changes the outcome. It only delays the inevitable. If someone doesn't see your value, no amount of chasing is going to convince them. You can't persuade someone into being attracted. You can't argue someone into loving you. Attraction is either there or it isn't. Interest is either real or it's not. So when you chase, you're just burning yourself out while confirming to them that they don't have to try. But when you hold back, when you stand firm in your confidence and let them come to you, you give attraction the best possible chance to breathe. And if they don't step up, that's still a win because you saved yourself from wasting more time and more energy on the wrong person. That's the real power of not chasing. It keeps you aligned with your worth, and it shows the world that you will only move forward with people who are willing to meet you at your level. Confidence is everything when it comes to attraction. It's not just about what you say, it's about how you carry yourself, how you respond, and the energy you project when he comes back after silence. When you're confident, you send the unspoken message. I'm good with or without you. My life is full. I know my value. If you want to be part of this, you'll have to earn your spot. And that energy is magnetic. It makes people curious. It makes them want to step up. Because deep down, everybody is drawn to confidence. Nobody is drawn to insecurity, desperation, or drama. So when he reaches out, the greatest gift you can give yourself, and the most attractive thing you can show him, is your calm, grounded, unshakable confidence. Staying confident means you don't let his silence make you question your worth. Too many people internalize the pullback. They start thinking, was I not good enough? Did I do something wrong? Maybe I wasn't attractive enough, smart enough, interesting enough. That kind of thinking destroys your self-esteem. His silence is about him, not you. Maybe he wasn't ready. Maybe he was distracted. Maybe he just didn't value the connection at the time. But none of that changes your value. Your value isn't determined by someone else's inconsistency. So when he returns, you don't show up wounded, insecure, or bitter. You show up with the mindset of, I know who I am, I know what I bring, and whether you stay or go, I'll still be fine. That's confidence, and that's what keeps you in the position of power. Now, confidence also shows up in your behavior. It's in the way you communicate. Confident people don't overshare. They don't beg for explanations. They don't feel the need to prove themselves. Instead, they keep it light, they keep it short, and they let the other person do the work of pursuing. For example, if he says, hey, it's been a while, the insecure response is, yeah, where have you been? Why didn't you call? I was really hurt when you disappeared. That's neediness. That's insecurity. The confident response is, hey, good to hear from you. How have you been? Simple, warm, direct, no drama, because confidence doesn't need a force. Confidence lets things unfold naturally. Confidence trusts that the right people will stay and the wrong people will fall away. Staying confident also means staying focused on your own life. The more you invest in yourself, your passions, your friendships, your goals, the less you feel the need to cling to someone else for validation. Think about it. If your life is rich, if you're busy living, if you're pursuing your dreams and surrounded by people who love and respect you, then one man's silence isn't going to shake you. It might sting, but it won't break you. That's why personal growth is such a huge part of confidence. The stronger and happier you are in your own life, the more naturally attractive you become. When he comes back, he'll feel that energy, he'll see that glow, and he'll realize if he wants to be part of your world, he's going to have to bring his best. And here's the final piece. Confidence is contagious. When you stay confident, you set the tone for how the relationship unfolds. If you show up insecure, anxious, or desperate, he'll mirror that energy. He'll pull back, he'll take you for granted, or he'll lose interest. But if you show up calm, secure, and centered, he'll feel that too. He'll be drawn into it. Confidence makes you the prize, the standard, the one who doesn't settle, and whether he measures up or not, you win, because you never betrayed yourself. That's the ultimate power of staying confident. No matter what he does, you walk away stronger, more magnetic, and more in control of your own life.